So I ordered another shock in the mail. This was a 330 millimeter. I got it on eBay. It's for a Tau dirt bike, just like the other one. It's very similar. Hopefully it's got the same stiffness and compression. And it was only 50 bucks shipped. I got a steal on it. I think it was like $43 plus tax and free shipping. So this is exactly 1 inch longer than the one I put on the eBay dirt bike. So we should be able to raise the seat height back up about 2 inches or so. And it'll probably make the bike ride a little better. So let's throw this on real quick and hopefully it's back to its old self again. So I'm just gonna measure the distance of the frame off the ground. Looks like we are right to the very back. 31 5/8. So let's remember that. We're gonna put the shock on and we're gonna see what it looks like after that. And here's a shot of the two shocks side by side. This one's obviously a little taller. It's what we needed. So let's slap it in and get it going. All right, shock's on. It was really quick. It takes like 5 minutes. So it was at 31 5/8 before. Now we are at 34.5. That is insane. It's almost 3 inches of rise. So the bike is now 3 inches taller, and all we had to do is upgrade a shock 25 millimeters. So that just lets you know how big of a drop that thing was. It was a lot smaller. She's gonna love it now. Hopefully we can get out and go for a ride and see how it feels. Here's the brackets to lower the foot pegs on the Talaria. I'll be able to throw those on tomorrow, and hopefully that goes well. They're made for a Sur-Ron or a Segway, but I'm thinking they're all the same, hopefully, because they were way cheaper than the ones for the Talaria. Well, apparently my daughter went over to her friend's house, so we are unable to test out the shock on the eBay dirt bike. But I have something else for you. We got some updates here. We got a little bit of news on the Talaria MX4. What? We finally hit 300 miles. So it's weird. It took me like 2.5 months to hit the first 200 miles because I was just kind of busy and didn't get a chance to ride. And I hit the last 100 miles in about a week. So we finally hit 300 miles on the bike, guys. Things are going great. I haven't done any modifications to the bike except the 3-inch Luna riser bars and the gator seat, which sucks. And I got a new seat from eBay coming in the mail. It's still in California shipping over to me. Like I said, I did try the 21 and 18-inch moto wheels, and they were really heavy and awkward. It made the front rake of the bike kind of awkward. It made it steer really weird, and it was just heavy. I didn't find it worth it, considering I do a lot of street driving. So I'm just gonna wear out these shitty stock tires, and I'll probably put on some Shinko 241s, which is probably gonna be ideal for street riding. It'll probably give me a little more top speed because they're slightly larger than these. But now it's time to do my 300-mile oil change. And hopefully I don't strip out the screw on the gearbox, because apparently one of the big issues I'm finding out with these Talarias is that they Loctite every single bolt and they all strip. So I bought foot peg drops to lower my pegs down because I'm so tall, and I stripped out the bolts trying to take them off. So now I need to get somebody to take these bolts off. I need to get some special screw extractors to try to remove them. And if that doesn't work, my brother's a welder, so he's gonna have to weld something onto them and take them off. So I really don't wanna ruin the frame. I don't wanna damage the paint job. I don't wanna try to heat it up and do all this stuff that's gonna affect it and make it look worse. So I'm gonna try to take them off without ruining them, because they're recessed inside this foot peg bracket and you really don't have much room to work with. This one's actually set in about 1/8 of an inch, and this one's it's already loose. So I did crack it loose and I bent the hex key. That's how strong these things were. And then during the process of trying to break through the Loctite, I stripped out the bolt. And then this one I stripped out and I was able to get it back in tight. So this one's actually loose. And the other two on the other side, I didn't even attempt yet. So I want to try to take all 4 of those bolts out, and I'm going to replace them with new stainless steel bolts, and I'm not going to have that problem again. So for now, I can't put the foot peg drop bracket on yet, so that'll have to wait. Everything's going great. We have no issues with the bike. Everything's mint, and time to do the oil change. If I strip out that bolt on the gearbox, then we really have issues. Because remember when I was changing the seat, these bolts were really hard to get off. This one I could barely crack off on the left and right, and this one was a little better. But it seems to be a reoccurring thing. I've looked on the Reddit forums, and a lot of people strip out this bolt here too. So it looks like they crank them down a little too tight, which is, you know, good for safety and all, but when you're trying to modify these bikes, it really makes it a pain in the ass. But anyway, I'm riding alone today. I'm starving, so I'm gonna stop at the grocery store and get a nice steak to cook up for dinner, and we can go rip some trails.